ask a favor of the audience here tonight. So not everybody likes to have loud noises. So when we recognize this young man, if you'll give me a silent cheer, please, instead of applause. Okay, this young man is Zotavian Newbell. I should just give him the mic. This young man is being recognized as an Outstanding Character Award recipient, again with the Esprit de Corps Center for Learning, and he is in the kindergarten. This young man is a 5-year-old kindergarten student, brings a positive attitude to school every day. He approaches his assignments with excitement and kindness, always eager to learn and engage with others. His joyful outlook and genuine enthusiasm, as well as his handsome outfit, I might add, for learning makes him a wonderful role model for his peers. Please join me in recognizing this young man. We'd like to speak.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of a scream. We'll hold these truths to be self-evident that all men created equal. I have a dream that my 4 little children one day live in a nation will not be judged on the color of the skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, right down Alabama, little black boys and little black girls be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls and sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
To help the community, specifically right before he died. So if we're going to speak on MLK, we should speak on all the things that he highlighted in his life that he wanted for black people. And reparations was #1 on that list.
Well, it doesn't, you know what? I don't agree with everything of Martin Luther King. I mean, he was another man.
Right, though? But was that right? Is that accurate
no.
I said, though?
No, reparations.
He didn't want reparations?
No, I'm not saying he didn't talk about reparations. What I'm saying is that no one today alive should receive reparations.
Why is that?
Because no one alive today was a slave in that scenario where white Democrats own black people. Not a single white person today owned a black person from during that era. None of them, they're all gone.
What about the benefits from it?
What about the benefits? Who gets them? Who pays for them then? Who pays for them?
What do you mean who pays for them?
I'm asking you, who pays for them?
The same people who paid and capitalized off of slavery to begin with.
So who was that? Give me an example of somebody.
Slavery was a government-sanctioned thing. It was the government who allowed slavery. It's the government who vote.
Not the federal government we have today.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Every slave, every person who was enslaved in America was insured under the J.P. Morgan and Chase, and there's other, well, not them specifically, them now, because the bank that was them got swallowed up by them. But there's plenty of other banks and anything, even the slaves who were thrown over the boat as human cargo were tallied and insured. It was insurance.
Right. And I know this. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that because sometimes they would throw them over just so they can get the insurance money from them because it was easier to do that.
Yeah,
right.
But that's called compensation from insurance. That's all we're asking for. It's the compensation from when we were contraband and they put us under insurance. That's all we're asking for.
So who pays for it though?
The state, the government.
I mean, but the government that was enslaving black people doesn't exist today.
The same government that financially capitalized for hundreds of years off of slave labor, aka cotton, all the vegetables, all the slave labor for hundreds of years. The government. Slavery ran the economy, was the economy for a while, for a long time.
Well,
So go ahead, go ahead.
so when slavery ended,
Hmm.
you agree it ended, right? When black people were owned by white Democrats. You agree to
Okay, we'll say yeah. Okay, we'll say yeah.
that? Right after it happened, the Republicans, they actually did reparations for the newly freed slaves. They did reparations. I think it was 18 or 1781. Don't hold me to it. But right after slavery, they released the black people, and then the Republicans did reparations. What happened? The Democrats, they went to the Supreme Court and said that you cannot give out any funding or resources to any persons in the United States of America, and the Supreme Court reversed it. Just like here recently, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example real quick.
But what happened
No,
after
hold
that,
on. Let me
though?
give you an example real quick, because that was the 40 acres in the mule. Another
Okay.
example of that today, the Democrats, when Joe Biden was in office, he wanted to pay off everybody's student loan. It went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court did the exact same thing. The federal government cannot pay people resources or money. You can't do
Let
it.
me ask you this then. How did the Homestead Act occur then? Because right after the 40 acres and a mule and all that, we had the Homestead Act, where all the white farmers and laborers got to get their 40 acres and a mule in America.
You know what? And so what
you say
happened?
that, but
No,
I
let
have
me. I know
examples of
exactly what you're
them
talking about.
doing that selectively.
I know exactly what you're talking about, because when the Supreme Court overruled it and said that they cannot receive it, they forced any black person that received the 40 acre and the mule to give it to their previous slave owners. Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm not saying that didn't happen. That shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. But
So
nonetheless,
how does
it did
America
happen.
recover from that?
The
How does
Supreme
America
Court.
make that right?
But we can't live in that past.
So I'm supposed to just
Yes,
start
you're
today
supposed to
just
work and do
close
for
my-
yourself.
Oh, I've been doing that, but I still always watch my six. You see what I'm saying? And what does the Bible say about all of this? What does the Bible say about your past mistakes and learning from your mistakes? Because
But we
there's
can't live
actually-
in the past.
well, we got to live according to the word of God, and God tells you to live in the past. How can you recognize what Jesus did if you're not living in the past?
No. We can learn from history. We can recognize history. We can, and of course, but we don't live
But
in
you
the
have
past.
to learn history.
Because
to
if we're
recognize
living
from
in
it.
the past, then you got shackles on your hands and feet. There's
Not
no shackles.
necessarily. It's more like you got sunglasses on and you're able to you're able to move to and fro, but you know what the truth is behind the scenes. So like with someone smiling in your face, you know, deep down they're like, nah, I want to get rid of you. You know
But
what I'm saying?
you can't live in the past though. We need to look to the future. We
should we
can't,
be
because
focused
the
on
past.
Jesus?
To be honest with you, the past is water under the bridge. I don't have a time machine. I can't go change it. But we can learn from it and move towards the future. This is what it's about.
It's hard to learn from it without any admittance that it even happened, bro.
It did happen. Who did it? It was white Democrats. White Democrats do it. The same white Democrats then that did that to black people. The same Democrat Party today is doing the same thing to black people. Same thing.
But the thing about that though is when you look at the white Republican today, the white Republican today is nothing more than a Democrat from 2011,
Not
2008,
true. Not true.
2004.
Not true.
Donald Trump, Democrat. Donald Trump used to be a Democrat.
He used to be a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat. But the Democrat Party is still the same party of Jim Crow. The Democrat Party is still the same party of slavery. Has the Democrat Party ever apologized for slavery? Because it was only the Democrat Party that ever pushed slavery in this country. Did they ever apologize for it? Absolutely not. Are they going to? Absolutely not.
But I'm saying though, what was the Republican Party created for? What was the
So black
initial
people can have representation?
representation? We don't have that now. How is the Republican Party today a shadow of that? Maybe that's
And I'm
why
glad you brought
we
that
have
up.
bad neighborhoods. Maybe that's why our criminality is in high rates. Maybe
No,
that's why, because the
no,
Republican Party
no.
hijacked
The
it
reason why
from
the crime rate,
ex-Democrats.
the reason why the crime rate is the way it is now, because the Democrats after LBJ figured out how to manipulate black people, to get black people to stay on that virtual plantation, to get black
Okay,
people
so
to
would
get
you
their
say
ears
that they
tickled. It
also,
tickled every 2 to 4 years and say, we're going to do this for you, black people. We're going to do this for you. You have going to the black church, changing the dialect. We're here for y'all. You know it. You hear
I
them.
agree,
They
I
do it
agree,
every 2 to 4 years. And then guess
I
what?
agree,
Black people, for
but
some reason, they get right in line and they vote Democrat.
I see it, but I agree with that. But there's one aspect you're not looking at as well.
What is that?
If the Democrats were able to do that, they were able to look at, okay, the only way that these black folks could stop it is with the Republican Party. Let's hijack that as well. And that's what put us in the conundrum we are in today, where they're both in control of two parties, where one party was supposed to be made for you and was supposed to be made for me. It
And
wasn't
that's where,
supposed to be made for Donald Trump.
and that's
And it
where,
wasn't supposed to be made for all these other conservatives.
and that's where
Let's keep it
President
at
Trump comes into play. And that's exactly where
How?
President Trump comes into play. Because President Trump is taking the Republican Party back to its original roots. The Republican,
he can't do that after 2028.
the establishment Republicans hate President Trump. They hate him with a passion. They hate him. It would not surprise me at all that if like Liz Cheney and the rest of them had something to do with the assassination attempt on President Trump. Would not surprise me at all. They hate this man. And you know what? Just like Abraham Lincoln, they hated Abraham Lincoln because he freed the slaves. That's the reason why they hate him. They hate President Trump because he's freeing people today. And he's removing the Democrat slaves today.
Donald Trump is not a threat if he is not in support or trying to give black people reparations. They're willing to tolerate Donald Trump because he's an old man.
They're
In
not tolerating
2028,
him.
there
How are they
is
tolerating
no-
Trump?
Once Trump leaves in 2028, who does the Republicans have then?
I would imagine it's probably going to be like J.D. Vance.
Marco Rubio?
J.D. Vance.
Yeah, that's not going to work, buddy. Sorry, no. This is not going to
Why not?
This is not going to work. J.D.
Why not?
Vance is not going to get the support that Donald Trump got. It's going to go back to the Democrats for another 20 years because the right don't want to look at reparations.
Oh, my goodness. No. You think it's going to go back to the Democrats?
Yeah, I promise
Why?
you. It'll go
Why?
back to them for another 20 years because
Why?
their inability to give reparations. It'll go back to them.
You think the Democrats are going to do reparations for black people?
If they came out tomorrow with a promise and on paper that they're guaranteed this is what we're doing, it's over.
They can't do it.
And plus,
It's unconstitutional. And soon if they come out and say it, it's going to be another empty promise from the Democrat Party. It's going to be another empty promise.
Most black folks do lean conservative. That's the only really good thing that Trump had. He got a lot of help from the young black youth because a lot of us do lean conservative when it actually comes to policy. But as far as in the future, I don't see that parallel happening with a Marco Rubio or a J.D. Vance or a Vivek Ramaswamy. You know, I don't see that happening. And
could be a Don Jr.
believe the Republicans are in trouble.
How are they in trouble?
It's smooth selling now, and all that it is shown black people is that white folks think, oh, because Trump is their president, they got freedom of speech to come out and be racist now. That's all
It could be Don Jr. It could be Eric Trump even. I mean, I think a lot of people would support them.
That's got to be a lure to the black community, and we're not seeing it. And eventually, we get.
You haven't seen it because the black community continue to support the Democrat Party. You're never going to see it.
But you got to give tangibles, though. This is what I'm saying. There's got to be.
You can't give anything. You can't expect handouts. The point is,
everybody else has gotten it through time.
Huh?
Everybody else got handouts and tangibles for their vote. Everyone else.
So black people are not getting handouts at all?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I watched Donald Trump specifically go on the TV when he went there and had that meeting with them Jews. What did he tell them? Oh, we're going to get you these anti-Semitic laws passed and all of this if you vote for me. And sure enough, we're definitely getting them. There's plenty of other people. When he went to the church with the
And it
black
should,
folks, they
you know what?
danced the
He
song
shouldn't
around.
have. You know what? The thing is, he shouldn't have to do that in the first place.
But he gave
If
specific
white
other
Democrats,
races
if the
to handle it.
KKK went onto these college campuses and they were doing this to black people, what do you think would happen? What do you think would happen?
Yeah,
If
but
the
that's not-
KKK was doing the exact same thing that these liberals were doing, these Democrats were doing to Jewish people, what do you think would happen?
in today's climate, I'm not sure. You'd have to look at where.
Come on, man. If the Democrat KKK went onto the college campus terrorizing black people, they would nip it in the bud. And so this needs to be nipped in the bud.
Right. If they came to if they did it where I'm at, if they came to the University Concordia or something, yeah, folks ain't allowing that because it's pretty much predominant black neighborhood.
So so why wouldn't they do the same thing for Jewish students?
But you can't do things for Jewish students if you're not going to do things for other students.
They're already doing it for black people. That's not happening to black people on any campus.
There's no black hate crime bill. There's Jewish hate crime bills.
There is a black. It's called the law. You're not supposed to do it. It's the civil rights.
And then why can't them people have the same law too? Then why do they got to get anti-Semitic stuff then?
So what are they getting? What are they getting that you don't have? What are they getting that you don't have?
Anti-Semitic and anti-race and ignore anti-racial when anti-racial is the fabric of the country. That's the fabric. This is what America is built on. It's always been about racism. All that other stuff is other places. It has nothing to do with our soil. It has nothing to do with the universities.
But my point is because you brought it up, the anti-Semitic is happening and no one was preventing it from happening. Why not?
And I agree, maybe someone should prevent it from happening.
So here's President Trump preventing it from happening, and you have a problem with it. He doesn't have to prevent it from happening to black people. It's not happening.
We got a problem. We got a problem right now with racism coming from the right.
What racism is that?
My ex account is proof of that. Every person that has called me the N-word, I can screenshot, show you, and then go into their bio, and you're going to see one of two things. You're either going to see Christian and God or Christ is King and all that, or you're going to see MAGA. I have never been called the N-word by a Democrat. Ever.
Really?
Really? My ex account.
Because I get white Democrats calling me the N-word, and then black Democrats that join in with them and don't say nothing about these white Democrats doing it. The racist party in America is the Democrat Party.
When we get off this Zoom call, I'm gonna take a screenshot of my DMs and where you can see it all. And
okay.
Then I'm gonna show you.
But what is that? So you're talking about individual people. Okay, I'm not saying race. Look, racism exists. Racism exists regardless of what party you're in.
They're all right-wing people, or Christ is King, or all that stuff.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. When you go online, are you really? Do you ever say anything to trigger people on the right? Because obviously, let me ask you: did you vote this past election?
Yeah. Nope, I didn't vote. I abstained my vote. I went and registered to vote and then decided not to vote.
Why? Can I ask why?
Because neither I would not vote for a party that does not support reparations. Nope.
They're never going to.
And then I would never vote. That's just the way
see,
it
and
is.
You know what? That's a problem. You should always exercise your vote while you have the freedoms to do so.
And it's exercising, and I would not. And certain,
I mean, you're not. Look,
requirements have to be met.
You have to
you're
acknowledge
my support if you're not going to meet me halfway.
But you're going to have to acknowledge reparations is never going to come.
Not voting at all is an exercising.
But reparations, I'm just going to let you know, is never going to come. It's unconstitutional in this country. It's never going to come.
That's fine, but that doesn't mean that I ain't gonna stop fighting for it every day.
I mean, you can, but I'm just telling you, you could be
That's,
using that energy for
there's
something
nothing else
else.
in the world that deserves my energy more,
I mean, so
as
why do you
far as I'm
deserve
concerned.
reparations?
What do you mean? Why do
Um,
I personally?
yeah, yeah. Why do you personally? Because you were not a slave.
No, but I have ancestors who were. I can go all the way back to what, 17,
So
16.
how
I'm
much do you
from,
think you should get?
I don't know. That's above my pay grade. You get what I'm saying? I'm not here like, oh, y'all better give me 1,600 a month. Or none of that. It was all I want personally. I just want the admittance and the hey, we did this. Let's try to do something to make this right. A
The
little bit of effort, and then maybe you get a little bit effort back. You know what I'm saying? But the time of meeting people or ignoring the past just to
you're
live through
never.
today, we're not
I'm gonna
doing
tell
it.
you right now, you're never gonna get that supporting the Democrat Party. It's never gonna come. It's
I don't
never
think
gonna
it'll come
happen.
supporting the Republican Party either, though.
Well, actually,
I can put
President
a
Trump
MAGA
has
hat
done more
on
for
till
the
the day
black
I die.
community.
I can put a MAGA hat on till the day I die. I still ain't gonna get no reparations from MAGA.
I mean,
Let's keep it as that.
you're not gonna get any
If I
from
could, I would
Democrats
have already
either.
got it. It would have been an executive order. You know what I'm saying? We're still waiting on them $5,000 stimulus checks. Those things ain't popped up either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if
But
I
that's a
mean,
different
so
story.
do you not think it's a problem that we're in the black community that we're constantly looking for handouts?
No,
Why not?
because white people got it with the Homestead Act. Plenty of other races got it too.
So
Every other race have got handouts from the government. So I don't see a problem with it. Everyone else gets it. They just gave, what was it? Um, what's the Chicago mayor? Mayor Brandon Johnson just got caught lacking, giving up 900 million to the illegals. The illegals just got money.
I can't argue
So
with you on that.
I mean,
I can't
every
argue
other
with you on
race,
that. So let me.
the
I'm glad,
illegals,
dude. I'm so glad you brought that up. So right there, Johnson is a Democrat,
exactly,
and
and
he
he's the
black.
op. Yep, and I've been on his tail for years. I've been on his tail for years. I ain't got no support from him.
So,
What's the
so
New York? Hey, what's that Baltimore mayor? The Brandon John. What's the other one? The other Brandon dude? I on him too. All of them.
so
I ain't got no love for none of them.
that just goes to show the Democrat Party. That should tell you right there. They care more about these illegals than the black people that's been supporting them for all of these years. Illegals come in this country, never even paid a dime, never even worked, can't even speak the language, don't even technically follow the laws. And then you have Johnson just giving them all of this money. They were getting $10,000 a month on a card.
Yeah.
So they were getting all of this stuff. And then black people have been screaming for reparations, and then they give it right to the illegals. I'm telling you right now, it is never going to come for black people in this country. So black people, the only option that we have is to stop waiting on somebody to give us something and go get it. And don't get it and don't go get it by breaking the law.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done, and expecting from our
it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
Low morale youth.
It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
It's
hard.
Supposed to be impossible either.
It's hard.
And it's damn near impossible.
It's not impossible because there's too many successful black people in this country right now to say it's impossible. There's nothing to hold you back, and I don't want anything to hold you back. Nothing should hold you back. And sitting here for us to sit here and wait on this government that we know is not going to come and rescue us. Why would we want to depend on them in the first place?
Why participate if we know that sitting back waiting on it ain't gonna come from these people? That's where I stand in it. I know that the government ain't gonna do nothing. I know the government ain't beneficial to not only me, but all black folks out there. So why participate in it? I mean, you become part.
Well, if you don't participate, you can't make the positive changes that you want. That's the reason why we participate.
I haven't seen it. I mean, All I see,
I mean, you
I
will
see a
never see
lot
it
of,
if you
I
don't
see a lot of
participate.
conservative black folks get rich, and now they're stuck on YouTube calling out woke and different black folks to give views. I'm a YouTuber. I give views. I
I
know to
don't
give views. I know it don't. And that's what it's all about. If you go look at any black conservative on YouTube,
like who.
except maybe ABL, they have to take a negative stance towards the black community as a whole.
I know
It has to
ABL
be
personally,
negative.
and ABL will tell the truth about the black community.
Yeah, he will, but he also will tell the truth about the white community
Yeah,
too.
I mean, we'll talk about it. I'll
There's
talk
not a
about
lot
the
of other
white community too.
conservatives that do that. There's not a lot. There's not a lot
You
that
have
will do
so
that.
we have people that do wrong no matter what side of the aisle that they're on. And let me ask you, since you brought it up, what is woke?
Woke was invented by black people to tell other black people to keep their eye out on the man, keep their eye out on the government, keep their eye out on the law that was against you. And it has been adopted and bastardized by white people to mean anything black, anything that has to do with black culture.
So what about
Woke is a
DEI?
bastardized term.
What do you
Black
think?
people invented the word woke first. It was
So
us who made woke. It was stay woke, my brother. I'm 41 years old. When I was 15, 14, 13, 12, that was a normal word exchanged amongst each
I
other.
remember that, but
Stay
now,
woke.
but now
But now
woke
it's been
has evolved into
bastardized.
something else.
Yeah, and now it means anything that got to do with black or black culture.
No,
If it's
not
got
just
something to
black.
do
It
with
has
black,
everything. It's
or
not
like,
just black
or
culture. It
no,
has stuff to do with the
they've
LGBT.
added other things into it, like white women who are successful and independent without a white
Woke
man.
woke has
Yeah.
become everything, the acceptance of everything that is considered evil. That's what woke has become, because
And
wokeism
black
includes,
is in there.
huh?
Black is one of those words in woke.
It's not
You
in
can't
there.
deny that.
It's not in
Black.
there.
I have never seen a white person use the word woke in a positive way when it comes
Really?
to speaking on it about black
Really?
people.
I've
When it
seen
comes to
I've
speaking
seen a
about black
whole
people,
bunch of liberals,
you can send me
white
one.
liberals. Oh my goodness,
I'm
constantly doing it.
No, because that's when no, because when liberals say it, they mean people of color. They don't mean black people. They mean like Mexicans and everyone.
No,
Anything with the U.S.
they're talking about the LGBT.
Yeah, anything. The Democrats are like oh, come everyone, let's just have a big, you know. They don't
So
recognize
let me ask you about
lineage.
DEI. Is
Hmm.
DEI necessary?
No, nope,
What
nope.
about
I'm against DEI because the only people that have seen benefit from DEI is white women.
white
That's it.
women?
Yep.
What about affirmative action?
DEI or those African immigrants who come here like I hate you guys. Them African immigrants. Yeah, these white women or African immigrants. Nobody has ever called me like, hey, would you like some DEI, bro? Nobody has ever called my mother or my father or any of my I have 9 siblings. No one has ever called any of my siblings like, hey,
Well,
y'all interested in some
well,
DEI?
you might have a point, because Kamala Harris, she was VP because of DEI, and she's not black.
Yeah, cause exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Immigrant, one who posed. See, they could. A lot of people like to think that anything with a dark hue is black because the association of white. You have a lot of cultures that are all lumped into what we call white today. You got your Germans, you got your Italians, stuff like that. But when it comes to actual Black Americans, we don't got that. We delineate from Caribbeans, we delineate from Jamaicans, we delineate from Africans and all that. We keep all that over there. That's separate. We're not just like, oh, if you got dark skin, come on in. That's not when to do it. When I say black or black folks, I mean specifically foundational black Americans who can tie their lineage back to being enslaved on American soil. And I have a whole county in this country named after my last name because of the work my forefathers did for this country. So as far as America or being American, I personally only look at black folks as the only American. Everyone else in my eyes is an immigrant. As far as I'm concerned, we contraband. Everyone else is immigrant. So when I see a flag, that should be black, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me personally. A lot of people have yet to grow to where I'm at because I'm kind of a little bit farther than most folks when it comes to this because I've been here for a while. I've been here. I've been watching doing this. Been doing this since 2010. So I've been around the bush. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching everything from the rise of Jordan Peterson to everything to where we are today. And trust me when I tell you the Republican Party is cooked if it can't come to terms with a little bit of justice for the past because we might not ever
It's
get it,
not
but we
the
never
justice.
gonna let it go either. I'll never let it. I'll take it to the grave. I don't care.
But the injustices that happened to black people in the past was not created or arbitrated by the Republican Party. It was by the Democrat Party.
2025 for black folks. If they can get it for the white folks back then when they need it, we need it now.
It's never again, reparations never going to come. I mean, waiting for handouts is never going to happen.
No, I'm working and doing what I need to do till then. I mean, like
it's never gonna, but still, it's still not gonna. It's never gonna happen.
Life still go on, but
that is a classic example of how the Democrats want black people waiting on the government, and you already know that the government's never gonna change. The government's never gonna do anything as far as that.
Really waiting,
huh?
I know it's not really waiting.
It is waiting.
It's demanding it, and
you know what? You can demand it all day long, but it's not going to happen.
To remind them every single day for the rest of their life. If they can handle that reminder, so be it. But I'm not going to just brush it to the side and then be like kumbaya the world, knowing all the hundreds of years of what they did, and they still don't want to pay for it now. You are honestly asking for a lot when it comes to that, because I think deep down, they owe. They actually owe about 15 trillion. We ain't even gonna get to the numbers. Deep down, they owe.
They can't pay. You know what? It's unconstitutional.
They owe. They owe.
I don't expect anyone to give me anything.
But it's on. And when it comes to justice,
if I work for something, look. If I work,
you're a man of God.
If I work
and have those godly beliefs and not believe in justice for an atrocity, as far
who committed those atrocities? Republican Party, the Democrat Party?
It was the government, bro. Because back then,
it was who?
There was no Republican Party in the sense that when it is now. They were all Democrats. The only Republicans back then were black folks.
Right.
So it was the government. You can't throw blame to
but
the
it is
like
but when the Republican Party came along, they were they were the only ones that want to do reparations for black people and actually pushed it through. And then they went to the Supreme Court and got it overturned. The Democrats did. Same thing with the civil rights. Republicans wanted civil rights for black people. Republicans wanted black people to be able to vote, just like for women. Black people, the only reason why black people can vote today is because of the Republican Party, not because of the Democrat Party.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but the problem with all of this is not understanding, let's say you get your way, right?
It's not even have my way.
In the day, we never look behind. We always only look forward, right? How does that help? Because all it would do is create the same mistake. I mean, as far as it doesn't address the wealth gap that we have right now, which is a very tremendous wealth gap. When it comes to black men alone, our wealth gap is pretty much non-existent because most of us are in jail. We don't got no wealth. We don't got no ability to buy.
And whose fault is that?
That is the government's fault. You know why? Because they incentivize fatherlessness. Now, if you get rid of all of the if you get rid of all of those little programs that take care of people that don't know how to take care of themselves, then maybe we'd be better off. But when you give certain folks the ability to just have a baby and now they can get, all right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Okay, let's say I got reparations, right? And the government decided to give me $1,000 a month, right, for the rest of my life. What's different than the folks getting EBT and welfare and government
and
housing and all that
they
now?
should
Because most of them are women,
they
right?
should be
That would be no different.
and no, they should be forced to get off of it. Being on welfare and EBT is not a career move. It's only to help out for a short period, and people abuse it. People abuse it.
But what I'm saying is those handouts create the incentive for a black man to not have wealth because we're not needed in the family. If a woman can have a child by me, 1 second, I gotta plug this in. If a woman can have a child by me, and now the government is going to forever take care of her and that baby, what the hell does she have for me? She ain't got one. I ain't never gonna have nothing. And the second I do, I'm gonna owe it to the government from her. You get what I'm saying? So reparations wouldn't be much different than what's already happening.
So if you were to, so basically what you're saying, that because if you have a woman that you got pregnant, she has a child, and the government is taking care of her, and then all of a sudden you get reparations, all they're going to do is take the money from you and give it to her.
Yeah, but I'd be okay with that. Because guess what? If I went and got a job, they're going to take it regardless. And if I don't get a job and I don't pay it, guess what? I go to jail, and then they get that labor anyways, regardless. So there's always going to be consequences regardless. And if they don't,
fix your camera. Your camera's like cutting your head off there.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. But you get what I'm saying, though? There's always going to be consequences regardless.
We can't go, me personally, we cannot go through society expecting people to give us something. We have to go get it. I don't want the government to control me. I don't want the government to be my daddy. I don't want the government to have to give me anything. I don't want to depend on the government at all. Zero, not a zip. And as far as the past, we need to remember the past so we don't repeat it in the future. That's what history is about. We learn from it so we don't repeat it. And if we've learned in the history in the past that the Democrats and the government as a whole is not going to give you reparations, then we need to look to the future and how we can do for our families and how we can better ourselves. That's what it's really about.
Without them, right? Or survive without them. Because if they're not going to do nothing, another alternative would be survive without them.
You have to. Yeah, that's the only option.
I agree 100%.
So we can't expect them to give us reparations. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I don't think that means don't fight for it, though.
You can go and fight for whatever.
Let me ask you one question. Do you believe in condemnation?
In what content?
In the content of God, in the content of you can condemn your soul by your actions.
Sure.
Okay, so
but that's the whole thing of we should repent.
Would people be condemning themselves if they prevent the ability to make amends for actions like, let's say slavery, like that? I mean, when it comes to the sin and iniquities, the Bible says it pretty well. It pretty much says, you don't have to pay for the sins of your father if you learn from your father's mistakes. But there's no learning from any mistakes going on. So it's a lot of folks condemning themselves by denying that compensation for that inhumane 400 years. You get my drift? You might be okay as a black man, but not everybody is okay when it comes to paying for the sins of your father, especially if you're still in denial today. and you fail to learn from those mistakes.
So again, we can't
White
live
folks.
in the past though. This is
Yeah,
one
I
thing that
agree.
I've noticed. This one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of black people want to live in the past and they want to reject the future. Because living in the past, you can't look to the future to achieve
Well, how do you
anything.
make a future with people like that then?
Let me ask you, do you think LeBron James is living in the past?
But how do you make a future with people like that? If you want to how do I, as me, Trails, today, make a future with people who don't want to make amends for the past? How do you?
You
How does one accomplish that?
you forgive. You forgive those in the past that you believe they have wronged you, and you forgive yourself, and you move forward. We have to forgive. We can't hold people in the past that we've never met for something that they never even did to us as an individual person. Now, you've had people in the past through all history that have done terrible things, not just to black people, but to many people on this planet. We have to be able to forgive, truly forgive, and move forward. Because if we're hanging, if we have all of that animosity, and you can say it's a big ball, like one of those big wrecking balls, and it's on a chain and it's tied to our leg, but I'm not letting go of that past. All it's going to do is prevent you from moving forward. We have to forgive. Cut that chain. Let it go. It is water under the bridge. We cannot change it. Now, what you can change is your future. That's what you can. And why not focus on that?
What about those systemic issues like the ones that I addressed earlier? What about those that we could change, like the government benefiting from criminality? What about that?
Well, then you need to participate in the electoral system so you can make that change. And again, it's only, let me ask you, who wants, between President Trump and Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats, who wants to keep, or Joe Biden even, who wants to keep black people out of prison versus putting them in prison? Is it the Republican Party or the Democrat Party? Who wants to keep them out of prison?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I ain't even gonna lie. I would say
I can tell you. I
would say the Republicans want to keep them out more. Want to keep black folks out more. I agree. But there has to be some policy changes too. That's what I'm saying.
What policy change would you like to see to keep black people from going to prison? Because it's the Democrats that created the 1994 crime bill, Joe Biden.
I want to see the inability of prisons to be able to financially capitalize off it. That one thing right there. That's all I ask.
You want prisoners?
Prisons. When it comes to prison and labor. When it comes to prison labor.
Okay.
Prisons financially benefit off of criminals. Criminals get gotten 50 cents an hour. There's plenty of criminals working right now getting 50 cents an hour, making $23, $24 an hour items.
So let me ask you this. What's preventing you from getting involved in your local politics to try to make that a change? What is preventing you from running for office? What's stopping you?
I got criminal record. But I tried all that, and the problem is I live in Minnesota. They all Democrats.
I mean, come on, man.
They're all Democrats. Man, I've tried that. I've had the people
so wait, hold on. So
I've had people come knock on the door, like, hey, vote for us, buddy. Vote for Kamala.
Come on, man. Come on. So you just
I'm serious, though.
So you can't change it because they all Democrats, and they're not gonna let you come in being a black man. And how dare you think you can come in here and prevent us from having our product going to these prison cells? Right?
Right. Mm-hmm. But
so right there, you're just saying it. It's like,
but the racist right wingers make it harder to join.
Dude, there's racism everywhere.
Dude, no Democrat is running around calling me to end with the
Oh my goodness, dude. You know what? Because you say the things that they want you to say online.
17
Because you're
times
saying
today,
it, because you're attacking. I guarantee this. Look, if you and I, just tell me what state you're in.
I'm in Minnesota.
Okay, you're in Minnesota. Okay,
Yeah.
Minnesota. Yeah, I think you mentioned it. So if you and I, we went to a Trump rally in Minnesota. I don't have on a MAGA hat. I don't have any T-shirts or anything. And we walked up there and we just start talking to people. How do you think they would react to us? If we're not being nasty, calling them names, calling, saying y'all crazy for supporting Trump, just talk and say, hey, how you doing?
We'd be good, Minnesota. We'd be good. Minnesota good like that. There's not, I haven't, I've been here since 1989. I have never had to deal with like someone being racist towards me.
I'm talking about at a Trump rally. So let's pick another state. Let's say the state of Texas.
Even at a Trump rally, I've never had it. It's a lot of it, all of it, definitely social media. But when it comes to like interactions with people in the world and life, I've never had someone be racist towards me. That's also not me saying that it don't exist, or anything like that. I wouldn't downplay it because I haven't experienced, but I know it happens. And plus it does happen on social media. And like I said, 17 times today alone. So I don't know if you want more Black folks, especially like myself, to come towards the right. You got to put them people in check.
It's just not
desirable.
But you're acting like that defines everybody on the right, because you have in the connection, you have a conversation with someone on that you consider to be on the right to say something that you dislike. You're making a blanket statement saying everybody on the right, and it's not the case at all. I'm telling you, people will be people regardless.
I haven't seen much on the right I like besides
what have you seen on the left that you like?
Besides the deportations, I love those. The deportations, yeah, I love those.
So what have you seen on the left that you like?
The lapse of marijuana restricting. It was the DFL party and the Democrats who legalized marijuana.
So you want marijuana?
It was the right who didn't want nothing to do it because they want to use it for their stops, for their vehicle stops and all that stuff. The I smell marijuana clause and all that. It was the right. Now, have the right been more lapsed on all that? They own Minnesota right now. The left owned Minnesota because the right didn't want to legalize marijuana.
Why didn't they want to legalize marijuana?
They're in power. The only reason they're in power today is because of the marijuana. The right didn't want to do it. You had all those sheriffs coming out and doing all those major protests, and it's gonna create more teens doing crime and all that, and which ain't true.
Well, I agree. It's not gonna cause teens to do crime. The problem is that
was the right.
The problem is that
right.
It becomes, they don't want to make it more easy accessible for kids to get marijuana. Personally, I don't think as an adult, if you want to look I don't smoke marijuana, even though I got dreadlocks. I don't smoke marijuana. I did in the past. Okay. But I don't, because I don't like, I want my mind to be clear. I want to be sound mind.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're an adult and you want to smoke marijuana, I think you should be able to smoke marijuana. Marijuana is a plant. It has so many medical benefits from it, not even other than just smoking it too. There's so many medical benefits from it. So if people want to smoke marijuana, it helps with autism with children. It does. They've already showed studies with that. So, but that's not, so you're happy with the Democrats because they're wanting marijuana. Are you happy with the Democrats pushing the LGBT community? Are you happy with them putting child pornography in the schools?
Nope.
Are you happy with the Democrats constantly saying that, that President Trump is going to get rid of Social Security when he's not going to, he's going to get rid of Medicare when he's not going to, and they're constantly saying that President Trump is racist when he's not? You're okay with that though? I don't think he's racist. I don't think Trump's racist. I've never once said that. I don't believe that. No, but the Democrat Party as a whole, during the election, they constantly said that he was a white supremacist. They constantly said it. But both sides do that. Both sides draw strings
at the people when it comes to information about which side is going to do this. It's more of a form of a fear tactic manner when someone does that. That's the way I look at it.
So
I
when,
just see
okay,
it
give me
all
an
as fear,
example
fear
when the
mongering.
Republicans did that. When
When
they
they did
label
what?
someone race, call them the white supremacists or
Oh,
something
when they came
equivalent.
out about just racially, when they came out about the Haitian eating dogs thing, and then that came out.
That's true. That ain't
Well,
got nothing. That's
not
true.
that wasn't Haitian. That person that did it wasn't a Haitian
But
woman
I
though.
mean, no. But the Haitians do. I mean, it's not that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean
I mean,
that's
that's
kind
the
of a
whole
bad
point. It's still
example.
true. I mean, that ain't got
Okay,
nothing
that's
to
a
do with
bad
no racism.
example,
Hey,
but it
don't
wasn't
they be
true
eating
for
some
that
dog?
moment.
Come on, man.
But that
They be eating
moment when that
dog.
went viral,
They
when
be
it
eating
went
dog
viral,
though.
at that moment, when
They
it
be
went
eating
viral,
dog.
at that moment, they wasn't. At that moment, they weren't though. But yeah, they do eat
At
dogs
that
though. They
moment,
do.
come on, yeah,
Yeah.
they do be eating that
At
dog.
that, yeah.
But
I
at
see
that
what you're
moment,
saying.
right?
I really don't have a problem. I don't have many problems with the right. My only problem with the right is the people who it be holding.
Well, I'm.
It's
You know what? I'm
it's
on the
not
right.
really policy. It's not policy. None of that. It's just certain people. I
I
mean,
mean, certain people everywhere. I'm on the right,
yeah, but bruh, you need to open your eyes a little bit. Go
dude.
go to my
I
go to
used to
my
be a
profile.
look.
Go down and just
I used to be a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat. I grew up in Arkansas, and I was a Democrat. And I used to believe that the Republican Party was all of these old rich white men because I was told that, and I was
yeah.
told that
I
the
was told that
Democrat
too.
Party. I
Yeah,
was
I was
told the
told that.
Democrat Party was for people like me, for black people, minorities. They were for women. And then I moved to California, of all places. Now you would think that if I moved to California, that I would just become more and more a Democrat. But
Democrat,
then I saw
right?
how the Democrats were pushing this whole LGBT, and they specifically push it more in the black community. They praise when a black man put on a dress. They praise them.
Hey, and then not only that, but true with that. What's that? Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
If you come, if you come to Minnesota, right, and the Twin Cities, where it's mostly blackly populated, they're everywhere. But when you go north of Minnesota, you hit a certain point. Once you hit a certain point, like 25 minutes going north, there's no more Planned
So
Parenthood. There's
if
none of that
President
stuff.
Trump
It's
came out and
crazy.
said that they're going to shut down Planned Parenthood, that's why I call it Planned Parenthood, because they've been killing black people, black babies specifically, for many, many years. If
I
President Trump
support
came
that.
out and said they're going to shut down Planned Parenthood, who do you think would be upset about it? Republicans or Democrats?
The demons. I support that if he did that. I support that.
I
But
mean, you
like I
almost.
said,
I'm telling you, you're right. I mean, it's like you're
we're
so
almost
upset with a few people online because you say they're right wingers, so you just hold it against President Trump and the rest of the Republican Party because a few idiots out there said something that like the N-word, which I've had people, especially like I mentioned to you, I've had
there's
white
been a
liberals
couple
call me
big
the
people
N-word,
too,
and
though.
I've had black liberals to jump right in with them and say nothing about it, and they go right along with it. But you know what? I don't care if someone calls me the N-word. You know why? Because I don't allow words to control me. I know who I am. They can say all the nasty things they want to about me. They have said them. I mean, come on. Me walking around with a MAGA hat, you don't think I receive some of that stuff? Come on, man.
Oh,
You
I'm
know
sure.
I do. Oh, you a
I'm
coon.
sure.
You a sellout. You a Uncle Tom, right? And they don't even know what Uncle Tom is. They don't even know.
Yeah,
I
Uncle
get it
Tom is
all
a
the
good thing.
time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm
so
sure.
and so I know because I get these racist white liberals, these racist white Democrats, and they do this stuff and they're real settled about it, right? Because they want to come across like, no, we're here for you. How did Malcolm
That
X
might be
said?
why I don't
How
see it a
did
lot.
Malcolm X say about these white liberals? Come on now, I know
Yeah,
you've
that might
seen
be
it.
why I don't see it a lot from the left.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could
because
be right.
I'm telling you, that's the reason why. As long as you say stuff about right wingers, look, try this out. Just try. Maybe you need to create a new account or something like that because you might not want to be associated with it. Or create you another account
I'm burned up.
and go
Yeah.
on there. You know, maybe get a different picture so that, or you know what, just do you, because, you know, just don't associate the accounts, and just start saying stuff positive about President Trump, and you will see what I'm talking about. You don't, and just talk about the stuff that you like, you know, him doing the border stuff. You know, just put that out there and see what happens. See what happens.
Try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, do it, and you get to control it. Absolutely,
Yeah,
and just go in there and just do this one count. Say, now, you know, you can. There's stuff that President Trump he's done that I don't really agree with. Right, and he's just a man. He don't walk on water. I don't know why these Democrats say he don't walk on water. Right, he don't walk on water. But if you go on there and just put and just like, I want him to do more at the border, like this guy that they deported down to El Salvador. What's the name? Garcia. Deported him down there. They call him the Maryland man.
Oh, yeah,
dude is straight up MS-13. Straight up MS-13. He was designated MS-13 in 2019, but for some reason, these Democrats are trying to bring him back to America when America does not negotiate with terrorists. And yet they're still trying to bring him back. Still trying to bring him back. So if you were to create an account, look like you, be black, and just say the things that you do agree with and see what happens.
All right, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it. Yeah, I'm interested.
You might be surprised. I'm telling you right now.
I think that'd be a great experiment. I like doing things like that too. So yeah, we'll do that. It's a great learning experience.
All right. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for taking your time to come on and speaking with me. It's been over an hour.
All right, yeah, we good. I mean, I appreciate the talk. I mean, you don't gotta shut up. I mean, as far as I see your viewpoints, I can understand that. Yeah, do you need a little bit more help in a couple more areas? Yeah, I mean, we all do. So, you know, nobody's perfect. So that's totally fine. So I'll recant my statement that I made on X about
it's cool. No, it's cool. No, you know what? That's the whole point. I love, see, that's what intrigued me to want to have the conversation with you. I want to have conversation with people who disagree with me. I think it makes for a good conversation. And you see, I'm not cursing you out. You're not cursing me out. You know, we're having a conversation and we disagree with a lot. And we still it's all good.
Yeah. Anytime you want to have another little debate, a little go at it, just get at me.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm going to keep it working, keep it moving the same way you are. So I definitely appreciate the moment and the time to come up here and to give my opinion. Because it's a lot easier to say it than write it.
Okay, before one more thing before I let you go. So Kamala Harris, did you think that she would have been better than Trump or not?
No, it was over. We were cooked.
Oh, they still, but the dude, they still trying to push her. Like she would still been a better option.
Yeah, I saw an article that she's supposed to be coming out into the open this week or something like that. They're like, oh, Kamala is gonna do her first appearance of losing and all this. Like, no, dude, let her have some family time and stay home. You know, we don't want Kamala.
Well, actually, she did come out. She actually did come out.
Was it like a couple days ago? Like 2 days ago?
Last night. Actually, she came out last night. Let me share it with you. This is what she said last night. It's just a short clip.
All right.
In fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm asking for a show of hands. Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake? Google it if you've not seen it. So that scene has been on my mind. Everybody's asking me, what you been thinking about these days? Well,
yeah, bro, she's wasted. Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with her.
Wait, hold on. Here the elephants. Here are the elephants right here. Here they are. Look, these are the elephants she's talking about. Can you see it? So the earthquake happened, and what ended up happening is the elephants rallied together to protect the little small one in the defensive mode. And that's what they did. So that's what she remembered. And I'm not sure what that got to do with, anything.
Right? Because she sure ain't rounding nobody up to protect anything, or she'd
Well,
be president.
Well, I'm gonna say
She could've
this. I'll
walked
say
away
this.
with
This
it.
yeah, this will be the last thing. So you said that the Democrats are probably gonna win in 28. They're not going to, because as long as they continue pushing this transgender crap, trying to convince people that a man should be able to compete against girls, they're doubling down on it.
Yeah,
They are
you're right.
doubling down
You're
on
right.
that crap. And they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop because that's what they want to do. They want to take a grown man, because he put on a dress, and let him compete on sports and go into the restroom. Now, I don't know if you have any daughters, but I don't know. I mean, maybe you have niece, daughter, sister,
I got a son. That's it.
Okay. But even so, you
So
would
he can
still.
put on a dress. So yeah, no, we ain't with none of that. Yeah, we're not with we're not with any of that. We ain't got none of that moving. I mean, if he did it, I still love him. I wouldn't, persecute him for it or any of that. But we are not supporting any of that. So yeah.
Well, hey,
So,
appreciate it. Appreciate it, Travels.
Yep. And yeah, like I said, man, anytime. I appreciate the time. And yeah, I'll do that. I'll do my little CrossFit MAGA. I'll call it the MAGA experience.
Yep. Do it.
Yep.
Create it and see.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right.
And yeah, like I said, man, thanks and have a good one.
You too. Take care.